Hey guys, Tom Barton here for TomBartonSports.com. If you like this video, please make sure that you like it. Hit the subscribe button below. Get the little bell. Do it all. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well. If you want to check me out, it's TomBartonSports.com. Tom Barton Sports over on Twitter and TomBartonSports@gmail.com is how you can get in touch with us. Today we're talking about Brady and Sean Payton and their next destination because suddenly they seem to be intertwined with each other. Look, you start to think about the idea that Sean Payton wants to come back, and I have no doubt that he does. He would be the top priority in the coaching ranks, absolutely bar none. And you think about Tom Brady, where would he be playing next year? It's not a given that it's Tampa Bay. So let's start off and take them separately and then look at this together because I'm hearing a lot of rumors that flat out don't make sense, okay? So we'll look at Sean Payton first. Look, Sean Payton has a great resume. He's got a lot on his table. He has a Super Bowl ring. What he loves, though, is developing young quarterbacks. He wants to take that next team to show that he could do this without Drew Brees and really elevate him. He has stopped kind of his entire career from jumping on board and saying, okay, look, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. He has stopped those rumors right away. He's not stopping the rumors now. The newest rumors that he wants to come back to New Orleans. Look, I don't think he wants to come back to New Orleans, number one. Number two, he's saying that, or he's allowing that to be said, because he's under contract. So it makes sense that Sean Payton would have to come back. So if anybody wants Sean Payton, they're going to have to make a trade with the Saints. Now, could he come back to New Orleans? Sure. But is it fair to Dennis Allen to say, hey, you know what, you failed a little bit. We didn't give you a great roster. I don't think Dennis Allen was a terrible choice here, and I don't think he looks like he's a one-and-done type of guy. I think that this is being used as leverage to go somewhere else. Sean Payton did what he had to in New Orleans. He has a legacy that will never go away in New Orleans. So him going back there, while it's really good for the Saints and Saints fans, and they can get excited about it, it's not going to happen. So we start looking at the teams that might need a head coach. And you think about it. Jets don't, Miami doesn't, New England doesn't, Buffalo doesn't. No, we're going to go division by division. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Baltimore. No, look, they're not firing Harbaugh, so forget about that. Tennessee, absolutely not. Jacksonville has a good thing going on. I mean, maybe Lovie Smith in Houston, but I think they probably give him another year. Indianapolis, I don't know if that's an interim or not. Indianapolis could be an interesting spot, but again, he's walking in with a weird quarterback conundrum. I mean, Matt Ryan's there. You have Nick Foles there. I almost said Carson Wentz. Sam Ehlinger is there. Nothing really special. And their draft pick isn't high enough to go get one of these top three guys, although the 2024 draft class might be where Sean Payton's got his eye on. KC, no. Chargers makes a lot of sense. Because the Chargers, he gets Justin Herbert. The Chargers, he's been connected to. The Chargers have a dynamic offense. They have a good defense. They've just underperformed, but they just made the playoffs. Are they ready to move on from Staley after making the playoffs? I'm not sure that's going to be a situation that is tenable. Then you go to the Raiders. Well, Denver and the Raiders. These are the two that he's been connected to the most. Call me crazy, but everything I'm hearing makes sense when I hear that he doesn't want to go in there with Russell Wilson. Not that Russell Wilson's the problem, but he doesn't want to go to Denver with Russell Wilson in that spot. He wants a young quarterback. He wants to develop somebody, which brings up the Raiders. And the Raiders are constantly on everyone's lips for this position. It was before they hired their even Gruden. Peyton has been with this Raiders organization linked up for a while. Here's my problem with the Raiders. Do you want to come back to coaching, have to pick a quarterback and go and walk into a league and a division where you're going up against Mahomes and Herbert every single year? You're going up against teams that you're really going to be battling with. Even if you're really great and you nail that rookie quarterback, you're still going to be battling. Then you go to the NFC. Look, it's not going to be a Giants, Philly, probably not Washington, and it doesn't look like Dallas, no way, right? Dallas looks like the team. He was going to be the guy. Can Jerry Jones fire McCarthy after he makes the playoffs, probably wins a playoff game? Yeah, I'm not sure. Now, if McCarthy doesn't win a playoff game, we could have that conversation. Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit, not going anywhere, right? Tampa, he's not going to go to Tampa. They're not going to get rid of Bowles, although I could understand if they wanted to. He's not going to go there with Brady for 1 year in that spot with that makeup of the team. It doesn't look like that's a feasible situation. New Orleans, we talked about. Carolina is a good spot. Carolina could get a good pick, a good quarterback. But does he want to stay in the division there? Carolina makes more sense than the Raiders to me. That's for sure. And then Atlanta, no. And then you go, Rams, Arizona. Arizona, he's been linked to. He doesn't want to go there. It seems, or the insiders are saying, he doesn't want to go where Kyler Murray is to be his guy. And you go, San Francisco's not going anywhere at all. So you look at this and you say to yourself, and Seattle, no, Carroll's not going anywhere. So you look at this and you go, okay, where is the most viable place? Carolina makes a lot of sense to me. He gets a young quarterback to groom there. He would be able to get a draft pick. He can move up in the draft. He probably would have, not even probably, they would give him full control. And there's not a lot of expectations. Plus, it's a division that is on the downturn. I mean, Tampa Bay's sort of at the top, and you look at that defense. He walks in with a good defense. Tampa Bay's at the top, but with Brady, New Orleans is a mess. Atlanta's not sure if Ritter's the guy. It's a winnable division. It's a weak NFC. He walks in with a good young defense, good pieces to play with, and he could build that. Carolina is the team that makes sense to me. Not this Raiders nonsense at all. Maybe you could get Houston. By the way, before you write off Houston here, guys, they have 20 picks in the next 2 drafts. They have 3 first-rounders. They have a lot of commodity, and you can completely remake that team. He walks in with Dameon Pierce. He walks in with Nico Collins. Walks in with Brandon Cooks, who has a couple of years left. And they also have one of the top 5 most money under the salary cap available. Houston becomes a little bit attractive as well. Carolina, Houston, that makes sense for Sean Payton. All right, let's go to Tom Brady. Look, everyone's looking at Tom Brady. Where is he going to play next year? First of all, I do think he does play next year. I think he wants one more shot at this thing. I think that he wants to prove to everybody that he can play again. And he has not played poorly. People in the Tampa Bay organization have said Tom Brady is not the problem this year. And I agree with them. He is not the problem this year. It might be that Tampa Bay is just, the team isn't there. It's not hungry enough. Could be the coaching, could be whatever you want to say. I like Leftwich, but I don't like Bowles as a head coach. A lot of problems there. They can't run the ball. A lot of offensive line issues. Would it shock me if Tom stayed in Tampa Bay and said, look, get my offensive line back and we could do this thing again? No, it wouldn't shock me. But I don't think he does. I think that there are greener pastures out there, and he's always been looking. So we'll do this, and we'll say, okay, let's go back and look at it. We'll start with the NFC here. Not going to go to Arizona, not going to go to Seattle, not going to go to San Francisco, which was an option. Look, his hometown, but now they have a slew of quarterbacks that can take that role. He's not going to go there, and he's not going to go to the Rams. We know Stafford's coming back. So you stay in Tampa Bay. He won't leave Tampa Bay for New Orleans. Don't think he leaves it for Carolina, and I don't think that he leaves Tampa Bay for Atlanta. Carolina is one of those, I think that Carolina hopes so, but it's not a winning franchise right now. For Sean Payton, it's alluring because you could build something. For Tom Brady, he wants to win right now. It's not going to be Green Bay unless Aaron Rodgers gets out of town, and even then, I don't think Green Bay's kind of the town for Tom Brady. It's not going to be Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, or Detroit. And you go and you look at the Giants. The New York Giants make a little bit of sense. Tom Brady goes to New York, but I think a lot of the appeal of New York was Giselle. And I'm not sure they're done with Daniel Jones. He's also not in a win-now mode there, although they seem close. Philly, Dallas, not going to go to Washington either. Washington needs, and Washington would be great with Peyton, would love Tom Brady, but I don't think that they're going to be able to land either one of them. Again, the same rumors came up about the Raiders, so you can forget about Kansas City, San Diego, and Denver. The same rumors come up about the Raiders with Tom Brady. And my question is, why would Brady want to go into a division where he would be pit head-to-head? I know he's a competitor, but head-to-head at 45 years old with Mahomes and Herbert, and maybe not win that division, maybe not make the playoffs. All of a sudden, oh, here we go, Tom Brady doesn't make the playoffs again. We would be killing him. He's a smart football man, and I think he needs to know to pick his spots. Sure, the Houston Texans can make sense, but again, they're not in a win-now mode. You go and you look at, well, you got Mike Vrabel in the Tennessee angle. He walks in with Derrick Henry. He walks in with Treylon Burks. He walks in with a pretty good defense. Tennessee makes sense for Tom Brady. It's not going to be Jacksonville. It's not going to be Baltimore, Cleveland, the Browns, or Cincinnati, or Pittsburgh. No, he's not going anywhere there. So to me, you start to look at this and you go, I don't believe in the Raiders conversation. I do sort of buy into the idea that it could be Tennessee. Tennessee would be the landing spot, except for the AFC East. And the AFC East, look, he's not going to the Bills. But everybody else kind of needs a quarterback, don't they? Mike White's not the answer for the Jets, but are the Jets ready to contend right away? They do have a good nucleus. He absolutely can run the ball. He absolutely has guys that can throw, too. He's got Wilson and whatnot. The defense is pretty good. He's going to like Robert Saleh as the coach. New York Jets make a little bit of sense until you realize, wait, their offensive line is absolutely terrible, and they'll get Tom killed. He'll have the same problems he just had in Tampa Bay, and he's got to go head-to-head with Josh Allen, with a team that is coming after you defensively. The Bills are right there at the top. They're going to come after you defensively with a bad offensive line. I don't think he goes to the losing organization of the Jets. Although if he did and he won a Super Bowl there, they'd build a monument like right in the middle of Madison Avenue for him, right? So that leaves two teams, and the New England Patriots are the fun team to talk about. Can a reunion with Bill Belichick happen? Look, I think that it could. I really do. For a while there, I said, no way, no way. And then I started to buy in. I'm not as bought in as the original concept, but I've been hearing this, and it does make a little bit of sense. Look, New England, they're right on the precipice of making the playoffs this year. They have a really good defense. Ramondre Stevenson is the running back. They have some cap room to spend, and they know that they don't have the quarterback. Mac Jones is not the answer. Going back with Bill, that late return, it won't hurt his legacy. Look, if they go out there and they win 6 games with the Patriots, that stadium will still be absolutely packed. He gets to go home. He can say, well, you know what? I closed out my career with the team, but I think him and Bill are so broken, guys. I don't think they could get that back unless he believed that him and Bill could really take this thing and win the Super Bowl, which I don't think he looks at that roster and believes it. Now, Miami is the last one, and Miami is the one that nobody's really talking about. Tua's on his 3rd concussion right now, and Miami's having doubts about him playing the rest of the year. Miami is having doubts about his career. We've heard people mention that Tua's career could be in jeopardy. I wish the best for Tua. I've liked him. I've been a fan of him for a long time. But we know that Tom Brady has had conversations with Miami before. We know that Tom Brady wants to be in warm weather. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying the Florida life, right? Well, he gets to stay in, the South Florida area. He gets to stay in the nice weather. He gets to stay in a spot where he likes this coach McDaniel. We've heard Brady compliment him. He's got to like the wide receivers and Waddle and Hill that are coming out there. Miami has a good defense. They have decent running backs. Miami is really just missing that key piece. And when Tua was healthy, you could see that Miami could have been a Super Bowl contender. Well, with Brady, they absolutely would be. No one is mentioning Miami, but I'm starting to get the feel that sort of makes some sense if Tua isn't the answer. Even if Tua is the answer, maybe the medicals are so Carlos Correa'd up that they go, you know what, Tua, we'll give you, your walking papers and kind of let you go. We'll trade you for some pieces. By the way, there's been speculation that Gronk has been contacted by teams. You don't think Gronk would come back to play for Miami? He's not going to be the one option with Waddle and Hill there. He'll be the 3 option, gets to play that role. Look, it's all kind of fantasy right now, but if you're asking me, does Sean Payton and Tom Brady kind of wind up on the same team next year? I'm saying no. To me, Tom Brady's 2 best attributes, two best teams that he would go to have the attributes that he wants, which is win now, good running game, and you know what? A coach that he likes. I think Tennessee and Miami make the most sense. For Sean Payton, look, it doesn't matter that it's the Raiders and everyone's going to say he's got final control. I don't think Sean Payton goes to the Raiders. It wouldn't shock me, but I don't think so. To me, you look at it, Carolina, a young building team, maybe that's the way to go, unless the Raiders absolutely blow him away with money, which Mark Davis certainly might. Let me know what you guys think. Do Brady and Sean Payton play on the same team next year or on the same team next year? Does Tom Brady leave Tampa Bay? Hey, does Tom Brady even play next year? Are you hoping for a Bill and Brady return? And where do you hope that Brady does go? Where do you think Sean Payton goes? Comment below, like this channel, subscribe, and have a very good New Year, everybody.